Perseus, the Medusa, the woman with the snake hair, and the goddess Athena. The hero Perseus undertakes to leave the island of Seriphos and bring the head of the mermaid, or the Gorgon Medusa, to King Polydectes. The feat was difficult, as Medusa was a winged monster that had snakes instead of hair, huge teeth, a tongue hanging out of her mouth, bronze hands and scales like reptiles. It was so ugly that anyone who looked at it was stoned with fear. They would turn into stone. The goddess Athena was responsible for this frightening appearance of Medusa. Once upon a time, Medusa and her sisters, Stheno, meaning strong, and Evriali, meaning wandering or unobstructed flow, were very beautiful, especially since they were cousins with the fairy Nereids, the beautiful companions of Thetis, the mother of Achilles. But one day, Medusa mated with Poseidon in one of the temples of Athena. The latter became so angry that she transformed her into the above disgusting monster. This is according to Hesiod Theogony 270 to 333. Now, Athena wanted to help Perseus, so she gave him a polished shield so he would not look at Medusa in the face and become turned to stone, petrified, turned into stone, like everybody else who tried to do away with her. Now, Hermes also helped Perseus by giving him a steel scythe sword in order to cut off her head. However, that alone was not enough. He needed a few more things that the Stygi nymphs kept. In order to find out where to find them, Perseus had to meet the three swan-shaped greys, other sisters of the mermaids, who all shared one eye, an eye, perhaps symbolizing the gift of intellect, and a tooth. These lived at the roots of Mount Atlanta, perhaps near Africa, the Atlas Mountains, near the pillars of Heraklion, and he secretly snatched their eye and tooth, which he later threw at Lake Tritonida in the Sahara, where the goddess Athena was raised, and blackmailed them to learn the residence of the nymphs. This is according to Apollodorus, Library B424, Hyginus, Poetry, Astronomy 212. And as soon as he learned where they were staying, he went there and took from the nymphs a pair of winged sandals, a special bag to put his severed head inside, and a Hades hat, which anyone who wore became invisible. He then headed west, or otherwise into the far north, when, according to some other written texts, when he reached them, the mermaids were asleep. Perseus, through the reflection of the shield, found the mermaid Gorgon Medusa, the woman with the snake heads, the monster, and without delay cut off her head with a single blow. As her body collapsed through her neck, the winged horse Pegasus and the warrior Chrysaor flew with a golden sword in its hand, children of Poseidon from his mating with Medusa. Perseus hurriedly threw Medusa, the Gorgon's head, into the sack and ran with all his might, and after putting on the hat that made him invisible, and thus Stheno and Evriali, when they woke up, did not catch him. On his return to the island of Seriphos in the Aegean Sea of Greece, Perseus had to save Andromeda from a sea monster, so he immediately married her, and returning to the island of Seriphos, he was forced to cut off the severed head of Polydectes and his companions who petrified him because he had mistreated Danae, his mother. Perseus then gave Medusa's head to the goddess Athena, who fastened it to his chest as a patron, and then returned the sandals, bag, and hat to Hermes, who in turn returned them to Stygian nymphs. Apart from the well-known myth, there's also a possible interpretation of its decipherment. And I've translated this for you from a Greek article. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.